afternoon. I love that pink frog, and of course I love pink frog crafts and the amazing, inspirational, and of course uber talented Hazel Eaton, who is joining us. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Very good. Now, of course, you had a busy show early on, and I see in here that you have got a new size and also a new size for watercolor.
Absolutely, yes. So we've brought it in super smooth and watercolor this time, purely to give more versatility, because people want to spray and do different journals and things, and by having that watercolor there, it just gives a completely different look.
It does, and of course we are talking about the 12 by 36 centimeters in size. So this is Anna's scorecard. Now I know we have got a lot of, you have got a lot of massive fans for Pink Frog Crafts and a scorecard. Being a new size, can we relate it? I always ask this question. Can we relate it to one traditional card size?
Yes, we can. So it's equivalent to a 5 by 7.
Right.
But kind of your landscape version.
So basically, a 5 by 7 would be like this.
Absolutely. So they'll all fit into 5 by 7 envelopes or 5 by 5, depending on what folds you're doing.
Of course. And then what I love is then, of course, with this new size, you can create tent folds as well as landscape.
You see, I love a landscape.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I was thinking is that for mini books, mini art journals and so on.
Absolutely, yes.
So these, we could use them as well to create, because then you have got that landscape, so you can create watercolors.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have to say, 5 by 7 is usually a traditional one, a size of favorite of mine.
Yeah.
So I never ever seen it in a tent fold.
I know, and do you know what? It just gives you so many different routes that you can follow now. I really have enjoyed working with this size, and so has the design team. And you do get your sheet with your 10 folds on, which when you cut to demo, when we come to the first demo, I'm actually going to do some of them folds for you, because I think it helps physically seeing them and associating it to what we've got written on the sheet.
Absolutely, and of course you are getting those 10 folds instructions as well. You are getting in this bundle 100 sheets of that super smooth. You know, for somebody who doesn't know about super smooth, Hazel, how would you describe it? You know,
if you could only have one card in your crafty stash, I would choose super smooth, because you can ink onto it, you can stamp onto it, you can add all of your water onto it, you can do stencils, texture paste, brushos, the list goes on and on. So I like to call it jack of all trades.
Well, what I call it, that's a very good way of describing it. I describe it, because I'm a massive cricket fan, I describe it as the best all-rounder, so Ben Stokes or Freddie Flintoff.
Okay, so it's your Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. It's the one that you always delivers.
I'm impressed that I knew who it was. My husband will be laughing at me, but yeah, I know him.
Yeah. So what I mean is that such a big all-rounder that not only bats but bowls, and also can captain, and also can, you know, match winning. This is what the Super Smooth is all about. That amazing card that you go time and time today in a brand new size, 12 by 36 centimeters, or the equivalent roughly of a 5 by 7. But of course, that horizontal description, you know, perspective or kind of way. Now, over 60% of the stock has gone. If you want yours, $11.99. Remember, you can make up to 100 blank cards with this. 100 for $11.99, which is a fabulous price. 708847 is your item number. Now, we have the same size, this brand new size today, in watercolor card. Now, for those, again, I'm going to say it again, because I mean, I am a massive fan of this watercolor card, but Hazel, why do you like it?
I think it looks expensive. I love to construct with watercolor card, but then I also like doing my techniques on it, because you can throw a bit more water at it, or you can heat it a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? There's some lovely techniques on there. That one's done by Cheryl. She's got a lovely inky background, which has been soaked, and then she's come back in with inks and heat embossed, and then on top of that, she's painted. So, you know, there's lots and lots of layers. Now, this one is spritzed on both sides of the watercolour.
Love, this is, I mean, this is incredible.
It's just kept its shape as well. So, you know, even though it's got wet, it's still going to do its job.
And again, a 280 GSM, a fabulous, you know, I'm going to auto-plug myself, sorry, I'm just, well, not that I'm a robot, but what I mean is like, I want this cardstock, this size, because of the MISP, like the dies that you can create a hinge, open hinge, so you could do it on different sizes as well. Now,
great.
if you want to go for this, imagine creating your own, you know, watercolor journals. £14.99 is your price, brand new today, 12 by 36. You are getting 50 sheets in total, approaching 40% of this bundle, 528177. I just love the size. I just think that there is also this way of creating a beautiful landscape as well.
Yeah.
Now, that is the watercolor. Then we have a super smooth. Now, this is the 18 by 24, which is the 5 by 7 traditional.
It's still, yeah, 5 by 7 traditional. So if you scored that in half with the 24 at the top, you would get that card. That's your half fold. So with your spine on the left. So again, it's still a 5 by 7, but all of the designs change so much because it's a different orientation. So your easel card is completely different to the easel card for the 12 by 36s, and the same with your Z fold.
Okay, yeah, of course. I mean, I remember, I think it was one of the shows that I did with you that you did this card. I just adore it so much. And of course, it's that size that I think, you know, the 18 by 24 or 5 by 7, that it really lends itself to whether you are a beginner.
Absolutely.
It's not too big.
It's a nice size. It's not too small. It's not too big. It's just in the middle. Absolutely. I mean, like that card that's on show there with the blue lilies on. So that's your inverted stepper with the 18 by 24, whereas the other one, which you held up earlier with the, it's a tall, thin, skinny one, whereas this one, it's a wider one.
A wider one.
So,
now, by the way, we have got some more. I'm just quickly going to go through. Of course, super smooth is the one that you can stamp, hit, emboss, like cut, embossing, letter press, construction. I mean, so many different ways. I just wanted quickly to have a glance at the cardstock there, so you can see the versatility in one single go of how many different techniques you can. I'm very aware that we want to see Hazel in action, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of that. 651356 is your item number. $11.99 for 100 of those cards. Remember, you can make up to 100 cards with that bundle. Make sure to check out the website, thecraftstore.com. In there, you will find every single thing we have seen, plus more, including those absolutely stunner of stamps, including the typewriter sentiments. We have got, of course, the backgrounds. You have got those beautiful lilies, chrysanthemums, the spring flowers, and the typewriter edition sets as well. You have also the smaller packs of cards, watercolor. So yeah, I have to say, big fan of those ones as well. The True Black, it makes a wonderful companion set for any of the sets because, of course, it frames them. Remember that some of them will have flexi-buy, so if you go for them, then you can flexi-buy the whole basket as well. And remember to check out those glue bottles, which are always a favorite. So, you know, if you want them, well, Hazel, we are both very much fans of these ones.
We are indeed. This is the 0.8 mil, I believe. Is it? I always get confused.
0.5 this one and 0.8.
That's right. Yes. So you've got that fine end there, and you've got it on that. That's it. The needle goes right down. It doesn't
Sorry, the
clog.
other way around. You had it right.
I did have it right,
yeah,
didn't
you
I?
had it
It's
right.
fine.
Yeah, sorry, no, you had it right. No,
It's
anyway.
fine. It works perfectly alongside our EVA glue because it's the right consistency.
Yeah. Do you know why I went wrong? Because I went suddenly Imperial. So Imperial, the larger, that's, you know, kind of, anyway. You get them both anyway, £13.99, and then you can refill them with whatever glue you want. Of course, the EVA is always a good option. Approaching 30% of the stock has gone 603282, just £13.99. Back to you, Hazel. So now, what are you going to show us today?
Okay, I'm going to take it right back to basics. This is how the card will come.
Okay.
You will get an instruction sheet inside, and it's got 10 different score lines. So I'm just going to go through and score a few of them for you. So I would always have on the centimetre side of my board, because the card is in centimetres, I've worked it all out in centimetres. Yeah. So literally just go in, that's 18 centimetres gives you that half landscape fold, okay?
Yeah.
If we go on there then and score at 9 from each end, That's going to give us, whoopsie, our gatefold card.
Okay,
Nice and simple.
perfect.
Okay. If we go 6 and 24,
Yeah.
that's going to give us a side gatefold. So each time we're just playing with sort of like 9s and 18s because they all divide, and that's why we've got the card the size we've got it, because it all works.
How do you call that fold? Because I need to remember the name. Yeah.
That is 6 and 12.
Sorry, the name, you call it
That's a
fold?
side gatefold.
Side gate.
Because it's like the gatefold, but
Yeah.
it's just set
Side
off
gate.
to the side.
Perfect. No, it's just that I forgot the name, so and you said it, so it was
Okay.
like, yes, I need to remember.
So I'm going to go in at 6 and 12
Okay.
from each end. This is going to give us what I'm calling a double gatefold.
Okay.
So I always turn over,
Yeah.
fold them in, and then come back on myself.
Perfect.
1, 2, and flip back, and then just run that down,
Vanished.
and that gives you. So then this one could lead on to, if you like, making bridge cards, so that they fold flat. Obviously, you'd need a bigger envelope, or you'd need to make a box,
Okay.
but that would lead on. So then. We did the easel card this morning. I'm just checking so that I don't forget. Easel with no mat. Okay, so a Z fold. We've got 9
Right.
and 18. We would fold. That gives us our easel. Okay?
Okay.
On a second piece, I would cut, I'd bring this in, I'd cut 18 and attach it to this front piece, and that would give me my long easel that way. If I was going to make that into an easel with no mat, I would put my half point in, and then I would go 12 and 24. Now this one, you stick that,
yes.
and that gives you a little
perfect.
5-inch
Yeah.
easel. It's so simple once you've seen them. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
done enough with that, I think. We've
And
got a pile.
It's a fabulous size, and you are seeing the potential approaching very rapidly, 70%. If you want to go for this, please make sure to check out your baskets. $11.99 is all you are paying. If you are a Freedom member, if you are not, then you pay P&P. Now, there are queues on the phone, so if you have got access to the internet, thecraftstore.com will be the fastest and easiest way to order here. Back to you, Hazel.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you first is this card.
Love that.
Okay,
That's
so
one of my favorites.
this is on the sheet as a pop-out card, and you will need two sheets of card to make it, but it's actually this one. Okay, if I show you that, that's the 2 sheets. What I've done with this one is just took it a step further. So what I'm trying to say is you've got the basics on the sheet, but you can then take them to the next level. So I'll explain exactly what I mean. We'll take 2 sheets of card, and we're going to score 1 at 18. That's going to give us our outside. And the second piece,
Okay.
we're going to go 9, 18 and 27. If you haven't got a board that goes that far across, just rotate it around and score 9 from that end. So that gives you 4 equal sections, which is your 4 equal sections inside. So to be able to take it on to the next level, we'll start off with the outside piece, and you're going to need a trimmer for this next step. So just bring that in. So if I bring this in, look, we've got like an aperture in the
Right,
front
yes.
and the back. So we're going to cut that first. So we're going to, because of the length of the card, I can't put that in my trimmer. So I'm going to fold it up in half, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces together.
Okay.
So make sure that you've got a nice sharp blade in, and
for this, we need a trimmer rather than a guillotine,
yeah, because
right?
you can be very precise where you're cutting. So I'm going to cut from 9 centimetres. Well, no, start from the top, Hazel. Give them a chance. Right, cut from 2 to 9. And I want you to go up and down to make sure you've gone through both pieces of card.
Now, I have a question. If you don't have a trimmer, so for instance, somebody turns out the TV and wants to start making cards, could we use a craft knife and a ruler?
Of course you can, yeah. You could score this on your scoreboard first,
Yeah.
and then cut it with a knife. So for this side, I've gone on 2 centimetres again, but this time it's past the cut line. And I like to do that because it gives me more to butt my card up to, if that makes sense, because we want it to be straight. So 2 down to 9. And again, up and down to make sure we're cut. So then we're just going to cut those two between. So that's 2 down to 10.
Okay.
And then this side should be 9. Yeah. So left edge on 9. And you're cutting from 2 to 10. So when I take that out, that gives me my 2 apertures, which are in exactly the same place on each side. So that's one part done. For the inside part, I'm going to fold that in half again. And this time, if I bring this card in, we just need to cut 3 edges this time. Right. Okay? So, let's see, I've confused myself now. Where's my card? That's it, right. So, that's that way round. We're going to go that way, that way, that way.
So it's creating almost like the parts that fed into the holes. It's going to feed through.
Yeah. So again, it's 2 down to 10. And then this time we're just going down to that score line. So on the 2 centimetre line.
Yeah, that makes sense. And of course, having the score line beforehand, it kind of gives
it helps you.
Guidance.
So you don't need, realistically, you don't need that score line there, but it's actually so much easier to show somebody with that score line there, if that makes sense. Once you've made 2 or 3, you won't need that score line there. Right, so this time, that's going to stay intact. So this bit's going to fold in. This bit's going to fold in.
This is so clever.
And that bit's going to fold back. So that gives us a little, you can see this, that's going to fit into there and give you that shutting card. So now,
so clever.
For some decoration.
Okay.
I don't like to do anything simply, me.
Well, no.
I have done one side, I've done the back side. So I've chosen some of the gorgeous blue card from our spring set. I believe you can buy this with the watercolour pencils or on its own.
Indeed you can. There is the cards as well. So if you want to go the card on its own, with £12 and 49 pence, you are getting 10 sheets of each, 5 colours, so 50 total. It's not a happy hour, but it is, well, it is a happy hour, but not a happy hour deal. That's what I meant to say. 195939 is your item number for the cardstock on its own, but of course you can get it with the watercolour pencils as well. Back to Hazel.
Okay, so my blue card is 11.5 by 17.5, and I want to cut myself a little 1.5 centimetre frame so it sits inside my 2 centimetre frame.
Okay.
So I've set my card at 1.5 centimetres and I've cut from 1.5 down to 16. So I'll do the same on this side. 16, 1.5, and then rotate round. Hazel, you've just done that at 1. I'm going to have to do some mending. So 16. I should be able to hide that.
By the way, the pastel card on its own have the stock already gone. If you want to go for it, you know, grab yours by checking out your baskets. Details on the screen for that.
Okay, so that gives me my frame. I'm going to pop that to one side because you can actually use that for the matte layer for here. I have actually pre-cut one. And then I've got a piece of super smooth, which I've reduced again, so 11 by 17, and this time I want a 1 centimetre border. So each time I'm just taking advantage of the tools that I've got in front of me and just quite simply creating these little frames. And there's no rules to say that you've got to cut these frames to decorate this card.
I mean, I suppose if we have got dies that can create framings, and because it's based on a 5 by 7, therefore any die set that is based on a 5 by 7 will be beautifully, you know, will match the sizes. Yeah.
So that all matches up perfectly. So we'll get that out of the way, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in. We're going to use some VersaFine Claire Morning Mist.
Oh, I like them.
And we're going to use our Typewriter Edition set. So I'm going to use the background stamp first. I'm just going to add some, and it's just a random I don't want to get a full print over there. It's just to get...
We do have a bad stamp set as well on the show. Of course, it features... Is it the editions one?
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah, typewriter.
Yeah.
Not typewriter, typewriter editions. Yeah. So just add in that all around, and so then we can attach that on.
And all of that is a large stamp, so you can do the backgrounds really quickly, but like you are doing just a hint of the text in the frame as well.
And that hides up my cut line that I did in the wrong place perfectly. So just slide that. You've got enough time to just quickly slide it, but it is a quick grabbing glue.
Okay. And it's the EVA glue, isn't it?
Yeah. So I am going to just layer these on here. And again, I'm going to go for EVA just for speed.
Yeah. And you decant it into the 0.5 ml bottle.
0.8 ml bottle.
Oh, 0.8, I got it wrong
did it again.
Oh, why is it?
Is
no,
it?
No,
it's 0.5, isn't it? Oh, I'm getting confused.
No,
I always do.
The wide
big one.
The one with the bigger aperture is 0.8, right?
This
Surely.
one, yeah.
Yeah, 0.8, and this one is 0.5. Right.
So
and details on the screen for the typewriter edition stamps are £14.95 for that one. Of course, it comes with the blog background as well as those words. 136100 photopolymer stamp, beautiful stamp set. Details there on the screen. And of course, you are using this, the pastel blue and those gorgeous super smooth and scorecard with the 12 by 36. Details at the bottom of the screen for that.
Okay. So I've popped one of them on the front and one on the back. So that's the outside bit decorated.
Oh. Okay, so we do have an update on the super smooth 12 by 36. Now that is we have had a technical sellout very quickly. We have a basket extended. It will be the dispatch from the 17th of May. If you want yours, you know what to do. Check out your baskets. Detail up the left-hand side of the screen. Make sure to grab yours by checking out the baskets. Right, back to you, Hazel.
Okay, I'm just going to blend around the edge on here just to give me kind of a smoky.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go in and use our lily stamp to add a bit of decoration.
You know what it looks like, that morning mist in there? It looks like, you know the old-fashioned trick of burning paper, like the edges?
Oh, yeah.
It does have that sort of beautiful, smoky kind of colour.
I must admit, I do like blending with the Versaclares. One thing I have noticed, and I don't know if you can pick that up, you've got a darker line around the outside. Yeah. That is purely because that's the back of the card, and if I'd have blended it on this side, it would have been a smoother... You don't get that line so much. Yeah. I mean, I might be completely wrong. You might still see it exactly the same. But we'll go with this side because we've done it.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's grab this time.
By the way, very busy. Sorry to interrupt, Hazel, but the extra stock of the super smooth 12 by 36, very busy. Already 10% gone. If you want yours, make sure to check out your baskets. $11.99 for 100 possible cards or journal pages. So make sure to check out your baskets. Back to you, Hazel.
Right. So you know that there it is. So this time I'm going to use this. It's not a chrysanthemum, it's a lily.
Lily.
I'm going to stamp off one section and then I'm going to just come on here random. So I'm getting sort of like second and third generation. So I'm getting a real nice faint one in the background. I'm just going to pop one
Again,
more.
It looks like those old photographs where there is kind of that kind of hint of something there, that kind of beautiful black and white, like the morning mist. Come in and
I just pop a few buds down, but again I am going to stamp off that, and I'm going to I'm just going to try and cover that up with that. I'm going to put a darker one down there because it's going to niggle me. And then we'll just pop, that will do us. So now I'm going to come in with some salvaged patina, and I'm going to add in.
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
Not much.
No, I'm not jealous. No. I mean...
So I'm going to add some water down because, again, I don't really want this one that's darker, I want that a bit darker because obviously the ink is darker. So I'm just going to add some down. In the background, I'm going to keep it quite subtle and muted. Just, it's there, but just in the background. And I'm not being too careful about where I'm painting. I'm just adding in a flash of the colour. That's the back of a leaf, I think. It is now. And then
that's just so beautiful and delicate.
And then with the, and if you add it down and you put it down too dark, don't worry, you can go over with water and then blot it off to soften it down. So this one we've got more of a, we can add in some darker, take off some colour and then pull that up to soften it out.
Look at that. And I love these flowers because they are nice, I'm going to say boldish flowers,
yeah.
but they're not too big, and you know, they fit into this size really well, but also in bigger sizes, so I love that.
And if when you've done and you think, oh, well actually, I just need a little bit more depth or a bit more dimension, don't be afraid to come in with your watercolour pencils and then just start and flick in just a little touch of detail, just to give it a little bit more. So on this bud, you'll see it more. If we just add that down and then pull that out too. So you're just mixing up. That then just makes it stand out that little bit more, because one colour on its own is always going to be a little bit, say, I don't mean wishy-washy, but it just gives it a little bit more. I'm not so worried about these background ones because they're meant to be fading in the background. So you can do as much or as little as you like there. If I bring that one in, look, you can see I've done a little bit more there. It would be rude not to add a bit of text. So we'll just add little bits.
Oh yeah.
There we go. And then I want a nice, bold sentiment across the front there. So I'm going to have the birthday.
Yeah.
And will it fit on there?
Oh, it's the additions, isn't it?
This is the additions, and yeah, I absolutely love this birthday. But then I'm going to dib into the typewriter sentiments because I want the happy from there. So I'm going to pop my birthday across.
Of course, the big birthday is from the additions, which is also the background, but also you can bring it, now you are going to bring the typewriter sentiments, which is the...
Absolutely.
So if you want the large birthday, that is from the addition sentiment. You can see it there. If you want to have, and the background as well comes in the additions. If you want the one that Hazel is going to be using now, which is the happy, then of course you have got the original typewriter sentiment stamps, which is a different item number. Back to Hazel.
Okay, so I've popped my happy birthday on there. My stamp is clean, and I've just inked up happy, and that's going to allow me to place that where I want to. If I wanted to, I could have gone onto this set and got best wishes, and I could have had birthday wishes. It's really, the choice is yours. The idea is that they mix and match, and you've got a bit of everything. So that's that. And now all we need to do is mat and layer.
Okay.
Again, for my EVA. And then we will just piece that together. One thing I will do is just wipe up that ink, because I know what I'm like. It'll end up on the back of the card. So we might as well stick these on before we stick it together. And it helps you line it up a lot easier. So pop that down, and then get equal distance around there.
Right.
If you need any room, just scoot it out the way.
Absolutely. Well, do you have a massive desk at home, and it's like you are working actually in a...
I have got a long desk at home, but I end up half of the time working in my lap because I've got everything everywhere, and I just pull it out.
I mean, on your lap. That's like the most, reduced kind of size I have ever heard of crafting on your lap.
Oh God, it ends up everywhere. I am a messy crafter. Okay, this is the important bit. So lift this piece up. This little I'm going to call it a hoof. It's not, but a U-shaped. That's the bit that you glue.
Okay.
You're going to poke that piece through and then line this up. Bring it round, make sure that you've got that. So that's now fit in there, perfect. And then we'll do the same on this side. I like to attach it in the air as opposed to flat, because that way I know it's going to fold up perfectly.
Okay.
And again, just squeeze that there.
It's just so beautiful.
That gives us our completed card.
That is just, and the system, you know, if you wanted to, could you do another one beside it?
You, as in join it
Yeah.
too.
If you do it...
If you didn't have this piece, you
Okay.
might be able to extend it. I've just been working on some at home actually, and it's
Ooh.
quite funny because out of that pop-out design, I am up to 6 different versions now. From one instruction that we're giving you. It's just a little bit of an imagination and a few cuts
absolutely.
here and there.
And this is one of the instructions that is in the with the pack, right?
Yeah, so you will get instructions to make this one, but I've just shown you, and you've got it on rewind,
Okay.
how to cut these extra
Right.
pieces. Because you don't have to do that on both sides. You could have just had it on one side and kept that bit normal.
absolutely.
You could cut an aperture in the middle.
That's
Entirely up to you.
absolutely amazing. 769642 is the item number for the sentiment sum, of course, that Hazel has been using. But this, you know what? You are all going for the amazing, super smooth, you know, super smooth and brand new size. You are getting the 12 by 36. This size are roughly equivalent to a 5 by 7, so it will fit on a 5 by 7 envelope. Also, if you do a zigzag fold, it will fit on a 5 by 5 envelope as well. There are so many possibilities of folding because remember, you're getting it unscored. And of course, Hazel has worked out with the design team as well, different folds as well. And those folds, those instructions come in with the kit. Now, what it means is that you can do up to 100 cards. You can mix and match. You can create, of course, easel cards. You can create zigzag. I love these, the different ones. For instance, this one that kind of has a kind of a flap and there, and then it has got a pop out there and a pop out there, and you can see the different sizes. Very simple, actually. They score it into, you know, you can see one until then, and then you have got that diagonal. Now, the other thing I love about an unscored card is the fact that the sizes have been worked out for you, so you don't have to do any cutting. You just have to, you know, you score it, and that gives you the versatility. I don't know about you, but as a crafter, don't you like to have the card that you can reach, then do a score line here or there, and then you are ready. If you are one of these people that is thinking, well, I do a little bit of card making, a little bit of art journaling, a little bit of stenciling, I like to, you know, watch apps, for instance, and I'll create, and Leone, and I want that mixing and matching. Having an score card means that you have got that freedom, but then it means that you can score it whatever size you want in within it. So do you want to do easel cards with a little pocket? You can do that, but with the knowledge that the size is going to fade, the finished card is going to fade onto a 5 by 7 card envelope, which also means you know that the postage is not going to cost you any extra, but you can be creative with those folds. I love that. I love the fact that you can do the zigzag. I love that you can do the stepper as well. Now, $11.99 is all you're paying. Of course, if you are a Freedom member, you don't pay P&P. And this will give you 100 sheets, 100 possible cards that you can make with this. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on if you even trim it and, of course, join together. $11.99. Imagine that. So it works out at, is it 12 pence per card? I mean, that's phenomenal. 708-847. Remember, approaching now 30% of the stock, of that extra stock, the dispatch from the 17th of May. It's going really fast, so make sure to check out your baskets. 708-847. And remember, is the pink Frog Crowds super smooth card, the all-rounder of cards. Now, if you want a bit more specific, if you want to do watercolors, if you want to do beautiful landscapes, if you want to do the same sort of folds, but with a little bit of texture, a little bit more of technique of water base, this is the one to go. I'm in love with this size already. I'm in love with watercolor card from Pink Frog Crafts. Why? Because it has that gentle texture, which means that you still will get a perfect definition if you stamp, especially with a stamping platform, but you also are getting the quality of a card that is designed to get a little bit more wet. They kind of blend all those colors that to bring in the joy of that watercolor beautiful mixing. And I'm going to show you as well, because this amazing card, this is by Caroline. Look at that. I mean, if you have watched, Matthew Palmer, this is amazing. He's amazing, right? Imagine doing a landscape that size. Imagine, or doing, I love a Japanese prince. Imagine a waterfall.
Yeah. Lovely.
And wouldn't it amazing? Or just a sky, a sunset, and then a river.
Or a big drip all the way down.
A big drip of watercolor bursts of colors. Imagine a big drip of, that's what we like, a big one. Anyway, if you want to go for I made Hazel laugh, that's a good one. Or if you want to go for 50 sheets in total, £14.99 is your price, approaching half the stock of the amazing watercolors card. 528177 is your item number. Phenomenal card, phenomenal size. Now, if you wanted to go for a traditional sort of 5x7 size, so, a portrait fold, this would be it. This is the 18 by 24, and you can see in here how nicely it folds in there. It's nice and proud. You can see there, absolutely stunning. Now again, it will fit on a 5x7 envelope. So again, standard postage as well. 651356 is your item number. You are getting 100 for just 11.99. Right, then we are moving on to the spring pastel color. Now this one comes in as well. This bundle comes with the watercolor pencils by the Stettler. So you are getting 35 sheets in total. So you are getting the beautiful pink, yellow, you can see here, you are getting the kind of, I would like this kind of jadey kind of green, and then we have got the blue, the lilac, and of course the white in there as well. Now you are getting watercolor and super smooth in here, so you're getting both. So you are getting 5 sheets of each, and you can say 35 in total. $21.99 also includes the watercolor pencils in there, and you can see it here. Now, can you explain what you have done here, Hazel?
Okay, so I used the blue card, and I was just having a little play to see what I could do on it. I've painted on there my oxides, that's the top one. Then I used my watercolour pencils, which I knew would work beautiful because I did it on some of the samples there. I've then used some of the Winky Inkies, which is a dye-based ink. And then the bottom one is the Pearly Winks Colour Pop White.
That's really
that
beautiful.
Looks, they all just worked really well. And I thought it was interesting to see it's the same card. And what I've actually got in my hand as well
is the blue card.
It's the blue card, and I've done a background like I did. I don't. There you
can see. Oh,
can you see the shimmer and the shine?
Yeah.
So that's got Winky Inkies, and it's got the glitter spray on there as well. So
Absolutely.
very similar to the technique that I did this morning, but on the blue card. So don't be afraid to use your colour cardstock, because you're going to get the same sort of effects.
That really works really well. So remember, this is color card that has been added an extra color. So imagine doing that with all the different colors in here that you are getting. You're getting 5 colors, then watercolor and super smooth. Remember that. Now, £21.99 is your price. 487270 is your item number. Now, if you wanted just to go for the card on its own without the pencils, you can go for this option. Now, you just get the pastels like this. So this is what it is. So you are getting actually 10 of each. So it's 15 total. $12.49 is your price. If that's what you want, just the colors, that would be an absolute fab option. 195939 is your item number. We are 50% of the stock gone for the colors on its own. If you want yours, you know what to do. Check out those baskets. Remember the different options as well. Now, moving on to Mylar. Now, Mylar is something that we often see it as descriptive of ready-made stencils.
Yeah.
Is this to make our own stencils?
This is so that we can make our own stencils. You can use it as it is in the 12 by 12 sheets, and a lot of you out there might have those electronic die cutting machines. You could cut some quite fancy shapes on them with the right needle.
Yeah, of course.
Me, myself, I don't have one of those, so I chop mine into 4, which works out at 50p per stencil, and I make my own. So like the one that you've got there, with the stars, but I've also done them with circles and hearts. I've made clouds, just a simple square template there. I mean, the list goes on. Some of our dies, we've got hearts there. Look, we've got some rectangles, and they're all kept together in this little box, so I know exactly where to go. That's our gorgeous skyline die.
Indeed.
So now I've got that, so it will marry up with the die, and I've got it there.
Much more durable. Fabulous. $11.99 is your price. $394,204 is your item number. Now, the stamps that Hazel has been using, of course, is the typewriter. The original one is this one, which is the sentiments. So you have got live every moment, kind thoughts, relax, life is beautiful, good things take time. With love and best wishes, wishing you well. There's always a reason to smile. Yes, for you. Thank you so very much. Love beyond words. Wishing you lots of happiness and hope your day is great. Love every day. What's this? Today is your birthday, a time to celebrate and with love. So all of the sentiments, £14.95, 769,642. And then of course we have the additions, which is the backgrounds, and of course those beautiful birthday in there. You can see it, and you can see all of them for £14.95. Always and forever. Love that. And remember, this is the additions typewriter. Dare to dream, someone special, congratulations, enjoy your day, friend inspired, and that big birthday as well. 136100 is your item number, £14.95 is your price. Then moving on to the next one, which is spring. I believe this one is the lily. So it's the spring flower, absolutely stunning. I love that one. Now, and also it's not that often that we see lily stamps, is it?
No, I know, and I love a lily because it's got such an open space that you can really get to play with. Whether it be brushos, watercolour pencils, whatever your preferred medium is, it will work great.
Absolutely. Oh, think about your alcohol markers as well. That would be amazing. £14.95 is your price. 807733 is your item number for spring beautiful lily stamps. Then we are moving on to the spring flowers themselves, which we have got here. This one's featured the daffodil, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look
love
at that.
this set.
Look.
So you've got daffodils, tulips, and the iris on the same set. With some butterflies as well, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show the printouts because I love this. Because again, it shows the beautiful iris as well, and the butterflies.
You've got 2 heads, 2 different daffodil heads for the stem. You've got 2 different tulips heads for that stem, and then you've got one of the long leaves to go with the iris. You've got your 2 butterflies, and then your little spring word background stamp as well.
Absolutely. £14.95 is your price. 099937 is your item number. And then we have the chrysanthemum, which is absolutely stunning. This is probably my favorite.
I know. Well, you see, we shouldn't have favourites, should we?
No,
but the ones that we bought out just recently, every one, it's like, oh, that's my favourite. But then the chrysanthemum comes back, and it's like the poppy. I'm the same with the poppy.
I don't know. There is something, I guess,
there is something about it. It's again, it's that open space.
It's the open space.
I like colouring this one with pencils.
Oh, look at that. £14.95 is your price. 165554 is your item number for the chrysanthemum. Something else that is very popular as well is the daisy stamp set, and you can see there, of course, with those words, a special friend, you make me smile. It's a fabulous stamp set with the bee as well. Really fond of bees. £14.95 is your price. 682399 is your item number. Half the stock has gone of the beautiful daisy stamp set, so make sure to grab yours by checking out your baskets. Right, remember that everything you will find it on the website, of course, thecraftstore.com. And with that, we are back to you, Hazel.
Okay, so this time we're going to work with the watercolour card. and I'm going to make a frame card. So I'm just going to do a half fold on this one.
Okay.
But I'm going to, instead of using it as landscape, which I really like, I'm going to do it as tent fold, purely because of what I'm going to pop inside it. So I'll pop that to one side, and I'm going to bring in, we're going to make a frame. So for this, I've got two pieces that are 5.5 by 19.
And of course, you're doing it on watercolor, but
Yeah.
you can do it with the super smooth.
You can do it with super smooth, you can do it with true black, true blue, true red, any. That reminded me.
By the way,
of an
the
advert.
super smooth in brand new size, you know that it sold out earlier. Now, it's 60% of the restock
Wow.
has gone. If you want yours, please make sure to check out your baskets. It has sold out once. Do not miss out. Check out the baskets, right?
Okay, so I've scored at 0.5 centimetre, 1.5, 3 and 4. And then I'm going to rotate clockwise. We're going to score at 1 and 2.5, but just to the second line. I've repeated that because I need 2 of that size, and then this size here is 13. Okay. So what I've done, this is 12. Always add on an extra centimetre because that's going to make your tab. Yeah. Okay, so the down ones are 13 and the long ones are 19. So we will now.
And of course, you're using
that.
red liner tape,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yeah.
We do have those details at the bottom of the screen. Remember that you are getting 4 rolls, but it's the equivalent actually 24 rolls because they are 30 meters in each.
Okay, so I've just cut down there to create my tab, and I'm going to fold that back so I keep it safe. And then going to cut that piece away, and then I'm going to come at an angle to the bottom of that score line there, and then turn it and snip that one away. So that's all, let's get that straight, that's it. And then I'm going to use the 3mm on this because that's the size that fits the best. So we'll just snip that. And the tape, just as a little reminder, it always goes on the shorter length, just so that you don't get them confused. There we go. And now we're ready to chuck some ink at it. I'm just going to go across, so you turn it over. Just go over those fold lines. Okay. So then, if you just lay them out in front of you, I panicked then, I thought I'd got one missing. And I'm just going to move that over. So for this, I'm going to use some sprays on there. And I've chosen myself 3 colours. These are the Pearly Winks Vibes. And I'm just going to have them quite close, and I'm going to spritz down.
Oh, the beautiful color. By the way, the watercolor option of the brand new size, the 12 by 36, half the stock gone. If you want to get yours, check out your baskets. And then, look, you know, there is something, I love to use both the watercolor card and the super smooth because they both react slightly different, don't they?
They do, yeah. So what I'm going to do, that was the greeny one, wasn't it? Whilst it's wet, and I know realistically I should dry it, but I'm just going to go in and add in just a little bit of extra. Obviously not too many because we don't want to overkill it, she says. Da, da, da. Right, so now we need to just give that a little blast to dry it. So first of all, I'm going to just move them off the mat. And take that ink up.
Okay, so, by the way, we have got an update as well on the glue. Is it the EVA or EVA pH adhesive? Is an extraordinary glue. Now, of course, everybody who has been using it is loving it. Over half the stock has gone, and remember, this is a kind of perfect for your memory albums because of that pH neutrality, so it doesn't degenerate the paper. And of course, it has got that strength. I mean, a wet glue that can hold things like this, glossy, I think is amazing. And of course, it means that you can use a Mary and non-shed glitter and low-shed glitter cards, you know, different metallic elements as well, and even cotton. All right, if you want yours, £13.99 gives you 225 millilitres. And of course, you can then decant them into the smaller bottles, which we also have the non-clog bottles as well as separate item. Massive fan of this. 603-282 is your item number. £13.99. We have queues on the phone, so if you have got access to the internet, thecraftstore.com will be the fastest and easiest way to check out your basket. Now back to Hazel, has done the drying up and
I've done all the housekeeping.
Yeah.
So they're all dried out now. I've just gone to my text background and keeping them in the order. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's text. When it's made, I want it all to be the right way up, as opposed to it being upside down or the wrong way, if that makes sense. It's just subtle in the background. Let me put a bit more ink in so you can actually see it. That might help, mightn't it? That's better. Okay, that'll do us. And then we can build this frame. So literally just take off there, fold down on the second line. So there's the first, second, and then pull that up, and that naturally finds I've just realised I've forgotten to put the tape on the tabs, but that's fine. We'll get that done. So 2. And it's just getting yourself in a routine and working round in an order and trying to keep it. I must admit, I do. I love a good frame, me.
Yeah, a good frame, and it makes all the difference.
So there's my 4 pieces. Now, I think it's going to have to be 6mm. I'm just going to cut a piece of this.
And this is good to go for the set of the red liner tape, because you are getting the 3mm, the 6mm, the 9mm, and the 12mm. Now you are getting 4 rolls, but remember that each roll contains 30 meters, which is the equivalent of 6 traditional 5-meter rolls. So this is the equivalent of 24 rolls for just £13.99. 825810 is your item number.
And you will definitely use all of the sizes.
Okay, yeah. Because every time you need a different size, isn't it?
Yeah. Last one. I've lost my bit of sticky. Here we go. Right. So simply just take the backs off of those.
Okay.
Right, so if you lift one up, take the other one up, keep them the same, slide that in, and then I'm just going to use a pokey tool just to rub that down. Move that along, long, short, long. Make sure you can get some funny shaped frames if you pick up the wrong one, believe me. I've done it.
I can imagine, yeah.
And then the last one,
There's
put that along. So then we just need to stick that together. So using a little bit of EVA on this little square in here.
And with the non-clogged bottles also, that means like,
and it means you can get in.
Yeah, the fine nozzle gets into right places.
A little bit on that corner as well.
I find that is true that with those kind of metal edge, like you can get really into, like underneath that cuts and things like that. So it's not just that it's non-clog, it's the fact that you can get into a smaller piece. Look at that.
I like to just give it a wiggle up in the air.
Yeah.
And then go down. Use the grids on your mat to make sure you're getting a nice square frame, because there's nothing worse than a wonky one. Again, believe me, I've done it. So flip that over. This is where your thicker tapes are going to come in. So I probably would going to use a 9mm on this one. And it's just literally because it's going to cover more ground quicker.
Oh, yeah, right.
So we'll just pop a couple of those down there.
And of course, it's a really strong tape. Red liner, and it's heat resistant as well, right? Yeah,
you can heat emboss on it and put your foils, your glitters, all sorts on there. Your flitter flakes.
You get, that's, I'm really into.
I always forget about all of these little techniques sometimes,
It's the kind of the oldies, the golden oldies of techniques can make them.
Yeah.
We have got about 3 minutes.
Oh my word! Okay, we should get there. Well, we'll get nearly there.
Nearly. I love your frames, though, I have to say. It's just the way that you...
So then I would always take the card to the frame.
Okay.
Start up at the top, get that nice and lined up and down. So that's the frame on the card done.
Beautiful. Okay.
Now I have got a matten layer which I am going to whiz this in just because I know what's going to happen.
Okay.
We're going to run out of time, but I just need to show you.
Okay.
So that is going in there. I almost wish I'd have done a piece for the inside, but never mind.
Well,
you
at
can
least
never
again-
gauge time sometimes.
Absolutely. So time is my magical thing. Sometimes it goes so slowly and
Yeah.
sometimes it goes so fast.
There's another one.
Oh, I love
So
that
that's
colour.
3 colours.
Burst of colour.
This is speed crafting.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's what we have to do.
Needs must.
Yeah, it's nice.
I might even cheat a little bit.
Ooh, what are
In
you
fact,
gonna
I will.
do?
Just mop it up so it dries quicker.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm going to
Multitasking
come in
job.
with the text background. Again, I would normally maybe put this in my... oh, I've made a mistake.
Oh, how did you do?
It's fine. It's because I rushed.
Well, it's not a mistake, it's a detour.
Okay, I'm going to do it again. Right, so I'm using my masket.
Ah, I see. Well, we have got about less than a minute.
Okay, right. I need to bring this in and explain what I've done.
Oh, okay.
So I needed to stamp my lily down,
Ah, mask it.
mask it out,
Yes.
then spritz. I'm going to bring in the sample to show you.
Now I know.
And then what I have done is I've built this up with decoupage. So if I just pull that back, look, you can
We
see
can
I've got the
see.
white lily.
Yeah.
Iris, it's an iris, Hazel, underneath. So then I've used a product called Diamond Sparkle.
Oh, the diamond pearl. Yeah.
That's it. And then I've spritzed this one and it gives a gorgeous effect. And then I've dried it and then I've layered it on to the front there. If I hold that up, you can get a better look.
I think we get the. That is absolutely stunning. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Hazel.
okay.
I mean, it's just stunning. And of course, this is one of the things that you can do with the unscored card. Whether you go for super smooth, remember it has sold out. It's back on extended delivery dispatch from the 17th of May. Very busy. Over 60% of the stock has gone. If you want 100 sheets of that super smooth 300 GSM, 12 by 36, the brand new size that kind of roughly is the equivalent of a 5 by 7, but instead of the traditional portrait fold, this will give you a landscape fold or a tent fold, which makes it a completely different kind of feel to it, yet it will fit on the 5 by 7 envelopes. $11.99 for that. If you want them, $708,847, but remember to check out your baskets. Now, Hazel, when are you back?
Claire is back on the 30th.
Well, we look forward to seeing Claire, but of course to Hazel next time. Stay tuned because lots more here at the craft store.